Life has a way of testing us in ways we never expect. It doesn't knock politely at the door. It barges in uninvited through heartbreak, failure, loss, or disappointment. And in those moments when the weight of the world presses against our chest, feels like pain is trying to break us. But here's the truth. Pain is not your enemy. Pain is your greatest instructor. Think about it. Every scar you carry tells a story. Not just of what hurt you, but of how you survived, how you endured, how you found a way to stand back up. Pain strips away illusions, tears down the walls of comfort, and forces us to see what we're truly made of. It's not there to destroy you. It's not there to destroy you. It's there to build the kind of strength that comfort could never give you. The pain you feel today is shaping the warrior you'll need to become tomorrow. It's carving resilience into your spirit, preparing you for battles you don't even see yet. So don't curse your struggles. Embrace them. Because the very pain you wish would go away might just be the reason you rise higher than you ever imagined. Adversity has always been in the world's most relentless teacher. It shows up uninvited at the darkest times, in the most uncomfortable places, and demands your attention in ways nothing else can. While success can make us feel good and comfort can lull us into complacency, adversity is the thing that shakes us awake. It strips away the surface layers of who we pretend to be and forces us to confront who we truly are. When life gets difficult, when you're pressed against the wall with nowhere else to go, that is when you learn lessons about yourself and about the world that no classroom, no book, no easy path could ever teach you. Think back to some of your hardest moments. The times when you thought you wouldn't make it through. The nights when you lay awake wondering how you'd survive the next day. The mornings when you carried burdens so heavy they made your spirit ache. At the time, those moments felt unbearable. They seemed like punishments. But looking back now, those same struggles are the very reason you became stronger, wiser, and more capable. Adversity has a way of planting seeds of strength in us. Even when we don't realize it, painful experiences carve wisdom into our character. They teach us the reality of patience because nothing in adversity is solved overnight. They instill humility because hardship reminds us we're not in control of everything. They develop empathy because when we've been hurt, we're more careful with how we treat others. And most importantly, adversity forces us to build resilience, the ability to bend but not break, to stumble but not stay down. Without difficulty, there is no resilience because there is nothing to resist against. It's easy to admire strength in others, but we often forget that behind every strong person is a history of trials. That calm composure you see in a leader, it was forged through storms of doubt and countless failures. That unshakable confidence in someone who has endured, it came from the nights they had no one to lean on but themselves. The patience, the endurance, the ability to see opportunity where others see defeat. All of these qualities are birthed in adversity. The people you admire most are not who they are because life was easy for them, but because life was hard and they allowed it to shape them instead of shatter them. Adversity is not just a teacher of character. It's also a revealer of truth. It shows us who really stands, who really believes in us and what we truly value. When everything is going well, it's easy to mistake acquaintances for friends, distractions for priorities, and comfort for happiness. But when adversity strikes, masks fall away. You see who has the courage to stand beside you and who disappears. You discover what matters most to you when life strips away the non-essentials. Pain doesn't just shape you, it clarifies your vision. The world often tells us to avoid pain at all costs, to seek the path of least resistance, to protect ourselves from discomfort. But the irony is that in doing so, we shield ourselves from growth. Without adversity, we remain shallow, fragile, and unprepared for life's inevitable storms. It's only when we face difficulties head on that we discover the depth of our strength. Just like a diamond is formed under pressure, your spirit is refined under the weight of adversity. Without the struggle, you would never uncover the brilliance within you. When you embrace adversity as a teacher, every hardship becomes more than just suffering. It becomes training. Every loss becomes a lesson in gratitude. Every rejection becomes a redirection towards something greater. Every setback becomes a setup for a comeback. This doesn't mean pain suddenly feels pleasant, but it does mean you begin to see pain differently. You stop asking, why me? And start asking, what is this teaching me? That simple shift in perspective changes everything. So the next time adversity knocks on your door, don't see it as the end of your story. See it as the beginning burden to a new chapter, one that will stretch you, break you open, and ultimately build you into someone stronger than you thought possible. Remember, the lessons you resist are the lessons you most need to learn. Adversity won't wait for your permission. It will push its way in. But whether it leaves you broken or better, that choice belongs to you. The world's greatest teacher is not comfort, ease, or success. It is adversity. And though its lessons are painful, they are the very lessons that make you unshakable, unbreakable, and unstoppable. If you let it, adversity will teach you how to rise when life pushes you down, how to keep going when your strength is gone, and how to turn your pain into power. It is not here to destroy you. It is here to teach you how to live. Struggle is the weight room of the soul. Every challenge you face is like a heavy bar placed in front of you, daring you to lift it. At first, the weight feels impossible. It crushes you. It shakes you. It leaves you doubting whether you have what it takes. But every time you decide to push, even when your arms tremble and your spirit aches, you get stronger. The strength may not show immediately, but it accumulates. Just like muscles built through resistance, your inner strength grows through struggle. Without resistance, there is no growth, and without struggle, there is no real power. Think of the moments in your life when you were forced to fight through something that felt bigger than you. Maybe it was financial hardship. Maybe it was heartbreak. Maybe it was failure that left you embarrassed and broken. At the time, it felt like the end. Yet here you are, still standing. Stronger, wiser, better. That strength didn't come from easy days or smooth roads. It came from the nights you thought you couldn't go on, but you did anyway. Those struggles were training sessions you didn't ask for, but desperately needed. Struggle sharpens you in ways comfort never could. When everything is going smoothly, there's no need to test yourself, no reason to stretch beyond your limits. But when life gets tough, when your back is against the wall and your options are limited, that's when you discover reserves of strength you didn't know existed. You realize you are far more capable than you believed. Struggle forces you to dig deep, to reach inside yourself for courage, discipline, and resilience. It builds qualities that no amount of comfort could ever provide. The truth is, strength cannot be borrowed. It must be built. No one else can endure the struggle for you. People can support you, encourage you, even walk beside you. But when it comes down to facing your personal battles, you must step into the fire alone. And it is in that fire where you are forged. Every sleepless night, every painful tear, every sacrifice, every rejection, it all stacks together to form a foundation of strength that nothing can shake. That is the gift of struggle. And here's the paradox. The very struggles you once hated become the very reasons you're now capable. The heartbreak that shattered you taught you to love yourself and value your worth. The failure that embarrassed you taught you persistence and grit. The financial hardship that humiliated you taught you discipline and focus. Each struggle left behind something powerful, strength you wouldn't trade for anything. That's why, in hindsight, many people look back and say, hey, as painful as it was, I wouldn't erase it, because the pain left them stronger, wiser, and unshakable. Struggle doesn't just build strength in isolation. It prepares you for the future. Every obstacle you conquer becomes training for the battles ahead. You may not see it now, but the challenge in front of you is conditioning you for challenges greater than this. Life will not get easier. It will get harder. But the good news is you will get stronger. You'll carry scars as proof, but also as reminders that you are not easily defeated. When the next storm comes, you won't be as shaken, because you've been here before. You've endured before. You've survived before. Too many people spend their lives wishing for an easy road, praying that struggle will avoid them. But ease doesn't make you extraordinary. It makes you soft. The road without struggle leads to weakness, fragility, and regret. It is the road with bumps, obstacles, and battles that leads to greatness. The difference between those who rise and those who fall isn't whether they faced struggle. It's how they responded to it. One person sees struggle as a curse, another sees it as an opportunity. One gives up, the other grows up. That choice shapes everything. So the next time you feel overwhelmed by the weight of your struggles, remind yourself this is strength training. This is not here to destroy you. It is here to prepare you. The tears, the sweat, the sacrifices, they are building muscles that will serve you for a lifetime. Do not run from the struggle. Do not curse it. Embrace it, because it is the very thing sculpting the version of you that you will one day be proud of. Every strong person you admire was once someone who struggled deeply. They didn't become strong in spite of their struggles. They became strong because of them. The same is true for you. What you are going through now is molding you, shaping you, preparing you for more than you can see. One day you'll look back and thank the struggle for making you who you are. Growth has never been a painless process. Anyone who has ever trained their body knows this truth. The soreness that follows a workout isn't a sign of weakness. It's proof that your muscles have been stretched, torn, and are now rebuilding stronger. Life works the same way. The pain you feel during your struggles isn't meaningless. It's the evidence that transformation is happening. Just as a seed must break open before it becomes a tree, you too must break through your own limits before you discover your true strength. Pain is not a punishment. It's a signal that growth is underway. When you're going through a difficult season, it's natural to want to escape it, to find comfort, to avoid the discomfort of uncertainty, rejection, or loss. But what if you began to see those very hardships as signs that you're leveling up? Think about it. When you step outside your comfort zone, it hurts because you're stretching into territory you've never been before. The fear, the confusion, the discomfort, it's all a signal that you're leaving behind the old version of yourself and stepping into something new. Growth never comes wrapped in comfort. It arrives wrapped in struggle. Look at the way nature works. Caterpillars don't transform into butterflies without the cocoon, a place that feels dark, confining, and lonely. It is within that confinement, in the pressure and the struggle, that wings are formed. If someone tried to cut open the cocoon early to make the process easier, the butterfly would never develop the strength it needs to fly. The struggle itself is what gives the wings power. The same is true for you. Without the struggle, without the pain, you would never grow strong enough to rise into the life you were meant to live. Pain is often misunderstood because it feels like an enemy when it's actually an ally. The ache in your soul, the pressure on your heart, the exhaustion of your spirit, all of it is the body and mind signaling that you are changing, evolving, becoming more. Instead of resisting that process, it's supposed to be a burden to a degree, you must learn to embrace it. When you feel the pain of failure, it means you dared to try. When you feel the sting of rejection, it means you put yourself out there. When you feel the discomfort of sacrifice, it means you're prioritizing a greater future over temporary pleasure. Every form of pain tied to growth is proof that you're moving forward. But here's what makes growth so difficult: you don't feel it in the moment. In the gym, you don't see the muscles forming as you lift the weight. You only feel the burn. In life, you don't notice your strength developing as you walk through hardship. You only feel the pain. That's why so many people quit too soon. They confuse the pain of growth with the pain of defeat. They think because it hurts, it must mean they're failing, when in reality, it means they're becoming. The key is to keep going long enough to see what that pain was building. Over time, you begin to recognize the difference. The pain of staying the same is heavy and suffocating, while the pain of growth is stretching and shaping. One leaves you stuck, the other pushes you forward. When you learn to see your pain as evidence of progress, you stop fearing it and start respecting it. You realize that every scar, every setback, every moment of struggle has been part of a bigger design. One that's been carving strength, resilience, and wisdom into your character. The people who reach greatness in any field are the ones who refuse to quit during the painful seasons. They endure, they trust the process, and they let the pain refine them. They understand that nothing worth having come without sacrifice. Success without struggle is an illusion. True strength is always earned in the fire of hardship. When you carry that understanding, pain loses its power to intimidate you. You stop asking, Why is this happening to me? And start asking, what is this making of me? So when life hurts, when it feels unbearable, remind yourself this is growth. This is the cost of becoming. You are being stretched, broken, reshaped, and refined into a stronger, wiser version of yourself. And though it feels painful now, degree, there will come a day when you look back and realize that every ounce of pain was necessary to prepare you for the life you were destined to live. To a degree, pain isn't the end. It's the proof that you're in the middle of becoming more than you've ever been before. Discomfort is the birthplace of growth. Most people spend their lives trying to avoid it, building walls of convenience, chasing comfort, and designing routines that shield them from struggle. Yet comfort is deceptive. It feels safe, it feels easy, but it quietly keeps you small. Discomfort, on the other hand, is demanding. It pushes you to face your weaknesses, to confront your fears, to step and be a burden to a degree, to step into unknown territory. It's not pleasant, but it's powerful. If you want to build resilience, discipline, and true strength, you must be a burden to a degree. You must be willing to embrace discomfort instead of running from it. Think about the greatest breakthroughs in your life so far. They didn't come in the middle of a lazy afternoon when everything was perfect. They came when you were stretched to your limits, when you were uncertain, when you had to step beyond what you thought was possible. Maybe it was the courage to leave a toxic situation, the determination to pursue a dream that terrified you, or the grit to push through a challenge that felt insurmountable. Every breakthrough you've had came wrapped in discomfort, because discomfort is the gateway to transformation. The reason discomfort is so valuable is because it forces you to adapt. When you're too comfortable, your body, your mind, and your spirit stay the same. Nothing challenges you, so nothing changes in you. But when life becomes uncomfortable, when you're placed in situations that stretch you, your mind begins to search for solutions, your body begins to build endurance, and your spirit learns resilience. Discomfort is life's way of demanding that you grow. Without it, you'd remain stuck in the same patterns, the same cycles, the same limits forever. Embracing discomfort doesn't mean enjoying pain. It means respecting its role in your journey. It means understanding that those butterflies in your stomach before you take a risk, that fear you feel when stepping into the unknown, that struggle you endure when you're learning something new, those are signals that you're moving forward. Too often, people mistake those signals for warning signs to stop, when in reality, they are indicators that you are on the right path. Discomfort is proof that you are alive, evolving, and daring to step beyond mediocrity. Every successful person you've ever admired has mastered this mindset. Athletes push their bodies through grueling training sessions that leave them sore and exhausted because they know discomfort builds strength. Entrepreneurs step into the unknown, risking failure and rejection because they know discomfort creates innovation. Artists, leaders, and creators all endure the discomfort of criticism, doubt, and uncertainty because they know it's the cost of creating something meaningful. What separates them from those who remain average isn't talent. It's their willingness to lean into discomfort instead of avoiding it. Discomfort also reveals your true character. When everything is easy, it's simple to appear disciplined, confident, and focused. But when life becomes uncomfortable, when things don't go your way, that's when your real self shows. Do you quit or do you persevere? Do you fold under pressure or do you adapt and push through? The way you handle discomfort reveals how much strength you truly possess. The good news is every time you endure it, every time you push through, you become stronger and more prepared for the next challenge. Most people think they're waiting for the right time to chase their dreams, but what they're really waiting for is comfort. They want the fear to disappear, the uncertainty to fade, the struggle to ease. But that moment never comes. The truth is, if you're waiting for comfort, you will be waiting for the rest of your life. The right time is when you feel the fear and do it anyway. The right time is when you step forward in uncertainty and trust that growth will meet you on the other side. When you embrace discomfort as part of your journey, you stop resenting it and start using it as fuel. You understand that every uncomfortable moment is shaping you, preparing you, and strengthening you. You realize that the fear, the resistance, the unease are not barriers, they are stepping stones. They are the price of progress. Each time you endure discomfort, your limits expand and you discover new versions of yourself you never knew existed. So the next time you feel discomfort creeping in, the fear of rejection, the sting of failure, the uncertainty of stepping into something new,
Don't run.
don't retreat. Lean into it. Recognize that discomfort is a sign you're growing, a sign you're on the edge of something powerful. It may feel unbearable now, but one day you'll look back and realize it was the exact moment you were being molded into the strongest, truest version of yourself. Comfort will never give you that. Discomfort will. Suffering is one of life's greatest mysteries. In the moment, it feels senseless, cruel, and unfair. It feels like a weight pressing down on your chest, stealing your breath and dimming your hope. But when you step back and look at the bigger picture, you begin to see that suffering carries with it a hidden gift, the gift of purpose. The very moments that seem designed to break you often lead to the clearest revelations about who you are, what you value, and why you're here. Pain has a way of burning away distractions and illusions until all that remains is the truth. And within that truth, you often discover your deepest sense of purpose. Many of the world's most inspiring people didn't find their calling on easy roads. They found it in dark valleys, in moments of loss, heartbreak, or despair. They didn't stumble upon their purpose during times of comfort, but during times when everything they thought they needed was taken from them. The suffering stripped them bare, and in that emptiness, they discovered something greater to live for. Their pain became the compass that pointed them toward their mission. Without it, they might never have seen clearly enough to recognize what they were truly meant to do. Suffering makes you stop and question everything. When life hurts, you begin to ask, why am I here? What really matters? What's worth enduring this pain for? These questions are not distractions. They are doorways to purpose. In comfort, it's easy to drift, to fill your days with shallow pursuits and temporary pleasures. But suffering refuses to let you drift. It demands that you confront the deeper meaning of your existence. And when you take that demand seriously, you often discover clarity you never imagined possible. Purpose born from suffering is unshakable because it's rooted in experience, not theory. A person who has endured pain knows what truly matters and what doesn't. They know the value of time, the importance of love, the power of resilience. They don't chase things that glitter but don't last. Instead, they dedicate themselves to what truly gives life meaning, helping others, leaving a legacy, building something greater than themselves. Suffering taught them the difference between noise and necessity, between illusion and truth. That kind of wisdom can only come through hardship. When you find purpose in your suffering, the pain doesn't disappear, but it transforms. Instead of feeling like a prison, it becomes fuel. Instead of draining you, it empowers you. It empowers you. Think of the person who loses everything in a financial collapse, but discovers their true gift for creating value and helping others. Think of the person who suffers heartbreak but learns to love themselves and eventually helps others heal. Think of the one who endures illness but uses their journey to inspire millions. In each case, suffering opened the door to a deeper mission, a calling that made the pain meaningful. One of the most powerful shifts you can make is changing the question from, why is this happening to me, to what is this trying to teach me? That shift turns suffering into a teacher instead of a tormentor. You stop seeing it as pointless and start seeing it as purposeful. Every setback, every loss, every disappointment becomes an opportunity to uncover a deeper truth about yourself. Maybe it's teaching you patience. Maybe it's showing you resilience. Maybe it's directing you to a path you never would have considered otherwise. But one thing is certain, suffering never leaves you the same. It either breaks you or it builds you. The choice lies in whether you look for purpose within it. The beauty of finding purpose in suffering is that it doesn't just transform your life. It transforms the lives of others. When you take your pain and turn it into a mission, you give others hope. You show them that they're not alone, that pain is survivable, and that beauty can rise from ashes. Your story becomes a light for someone else still walking in darkness. And in that act of serving, of helping, of giving, your suffering takes on a sacred meaning. It becomes the foundation of something far greater than yourself. So the next time suffering visits you, and it will, because no one is immune, remember that within it lies a hidden opportunity, an opportunity to strip away the unnecessary, to find clarity, to discover your true purpose. It will not feel easy. It will not feel pleasant. But if you lean into it, if you search for meaning instead of drowning in despair, you may just find that the very thing that tried to break you was the thing that made you whole. Pain is not just something to endure. It is often the path to discovering why you are here. Endurance is the silent power that separates those who succeed from those who quit. Life does not hand out strength in easy packages. It demands that you cultivate it through persistence, patience, and unwavering commitment. True resilience is not built in moments of comfort. It is forged in the crucible of challenge, trial, and relentless pressure. Every time life pushes you to your limits, you have a choice to crumble under the weight or to endure and rise stronger. The people who achieve greatness are not necessarily those with the least problems. They are the ones who refuse to surrender to them. Resilience begins with mindset. The moment you decide that obstacles are not roadblocks, but stepping stones, you shift from being a victim of circumstance to being the architect of your own life. Challenges no longer feel like punishments. They become opportunities to prove your strength, sharpen your focus, and expand your capabilities. Every setback, every failure, every moment of doubt is a chance to test your endurance and fortify your spirit. Life will always throw storms your way, but your response determines whether those storms break you or mold you into someone unshakable. Endurance requires patience. There is no instant shortcut to resilience. Every time you face adversity, you are laying brick by brick the foundation of inner strength. Some days will feel futile. Some struggles will seem endless. Yet patience in these moments is not passive. It is active. It is choosing to stay in the fight, to keep moving even when progress is invisible, and to trust that every step forward, no matter how small, is building something permanent within you. The strongest people are often those who endured longest without giving up, who weathered the invisible battles quietly and consistently, day after day. Another key to resilience is flexibility. Endurance does not mean stubbornly holding on to one path. It means adapting without losing your core. Life rarely unfolds exactly as planned, and the ability to bend without breaking is what allows you to survive and eventually thrive through change. Flexible endurance requires emotional intelligence, self-awareness, and the courage to recalibrate when necessary. Those who endure rigidly may survive the storm, but those who endure wisely transform the storm into a teacher. They learn lessons that allow them to move forward with greater clarity, strength, and determination. Endurance is also about perspective. When you are in the midst of a struggle, it can feel overwhelming, like the weight of the world is too much to bear. But looking at your challenges from the perspective of growth reveals their true value. Each trial you face is an opportunity to develop resilience that will serve you for a lifetime. Every disappointment, every rejection, every failure becomes a lesson in perseverance. Those who endure understand that suffering is temporary, but the strength it builds is permanent. They know that storms may rage, but they are developing the wings to rise above them. The power of endurance is not just in surviving. It is in transforming adversity into opportunity. Each time you endure a painful experience, you gather wisdom, patience, and courage that cannot be learned any other way. To a degree, you become someone who can face future challenges with confidence, knowing that you have already conquered obstacles that once seemed insurmountable. Endurance teaches humility as well as confidence, reminding you that strength is earned, not given, and that life's trials are not punishments, but invitations to rise. Finally, endurance shapes character. It defines the way you respond under pressure, the values you hold when no one is watching, and the determination you summon when hope seems distant. The person who endures becomes a symbol of resilience, not only for themselves, but for everyone around them. Their example inspires others to push through their own difficulties, proving that endurance is contagious. Strength is not measured in victories alone. It is measured in the ability to persist, to rise again and again, even when every fiber of your being is crying out to quit. When you embrace endurance, you stop fearing life's inevitable challenges. You understand that pain, setbacks, and difficulties are not obstacles to avoid, but instruments that refine you. Every test of your patience, every trial of your strength, and every hardship you face builds a reservoir of resilience that no one can take away. Endurance transforms ordinary individuals into extraordinary ones because it instills the unshakable belief that no matter what comes your way, you have the power to withstand it, to rise above it, and to emerge stronger than before. Endurance is not merely surviving, it is thriving in the midst of life's most difficult moments. It is trusting that pain and struggle are temporary, and that the strength, wisdom, and character you build through them are everlasting. The storms you face are not here to stop you. They are here to train you. Each challenge you endure is shaping you into a person who is stronger, wiser, and more capable than you ever imagined. Endurance is the bridge between pain and greatness, and it is through this bridge that you will cross into the life you were meant to live. Victory is not defined by the absence of struggle. It is defined by how you rise after struggle. Every person who has achieved greatness knows this truth. The challenges they faced were not obstacles to avoid, but stepping stones to reach a higher version of themselves. Pain, hardship, and adversity are temporary. The strength, resilience, and wisdom they leave behind are permanent. What separates those who truly succeed from those who falter is the ability to see beyond immediate discomfort and hold on to the bigger picture. The victory that comes after the storm. The journey to victory is never smooth. Life is relentless in its trials, and the path to your dreams is often littered with setbacks, failures, and disappointments. At times, to a degree, it may feel like the world is against you, like every effort is in vain. Yeah. Yet it is precisely in these moments that the seeds of lasting triumph are being sown. Each challenge you face, each obstacle you overcome, strengthens you in ways comfort never could. Every tear shed, every ounce of sweat poured into effort is a deposit into the account of your eventual victory. Victory is not simply about reaching the destination. It is about transformation along the way. The person you are at the finish line is not the same person who started the journey. You have been tempered, refined, and strengthened by your struggles. The pain you endured has become a foundation for confidence, courage, and wisdom. It is the difference between temporary success and lasting achievement. The triumph is not in avoiding pain, but in using it to propel you forward. Those who reach the summit understand that without the valleys, they would never fully appreciate the peaks. One of the most important aspects of victory is perseverance. Victory doesn't always come quickly or easily. Often, it requires relentless determination, unwavering faith, and the courage to keep moving forward when the path seems impossible. Those who quit when the going gets tough never know the satisfaction of true victory. But those who endure, who face every setback with grit and resolve, eventually discover that persistence is the key that unlocks the door to achievement. The longer the struggle, the sweeter the victory. Victory also comes from the ability to learn from pain and failure. Every mistake, every disappointment, and every moment of doubt contains a lesson. If you are willing to see it, the most successful individuals are not those who avoided failure. They are those who studied it, adapted, and used it as a springboard to reach new heights. Failure is not the opposite of victory. It is a critical part of it. Each time you rise after being knocked down, your understanding, skill, and resilience deepen. Victory is not the absence of difficulty, but the mastery of it. Another essential element of lasting victory is gratitude. When you achieve something after enduring pain, it's supposed to be a burden to a degree. You appreciate it in a way that is impossible without struggle. You understand the value of the effort, the sacrifices, and the lessons learned along the way. Gratitude transforms victory from a fleeting moment into a lifelong source of strength. It reminds you not only of what you have accomplished, but also of the journey that shaped you into the person capable of such achievement. The most powerful victories are those that carry meaning beyond personal gain. They inspire, uplift, and motivate others as well. Victory is also about perspective. It is not merely a trophy or recognition. It is the inner peace and confidence that come from knowing you endured, adapted, and overcame. It is the knowledge that no challenge is insurmountable, no setback permanent, and no pain wasted. When you frame your struggles as opportunities to grow and learn, victory becomes inevitable. Each hardship becomes a lesson, each trial a teacher, and each moment of doubt a chance to build courage. The process itself is a form of victory, shaping you into a person capable of achieving far more than you ever imagined. Finally, the greatest victories are those that transcend personal gain. True triumph comes when your growth, resilience, and strength benefit not only yourself but others as well. When you take the lessons from your struggles and use them to guide, inspire, or uplift those around you, the impact of your victory multiplies. Pain that once seemed unbearable transforms into purpose, and your achievements leave a legacy that endures long after the immediate battle is won. This is the ultimate proof that suffering is never wasted, and that the strength built through adversity lasts a lifetime. Victory beyond struggle is the culmination of resilience, perseverance, learning, and purpose. It is not given. It is earned, shaped, and forged in the fires of adversity. Pain may visit, hardships may challenge, and doubt may linger. But if you endure, adapt, and rise above, the strength you gain will outlast any temporary discomfort. The storms of life do not define you. Your ability to rise above them does. Victory is not just the end result. It is the proof that the pain, struggle, and effort you endured were never in vain.